Hey drummers, hope you're well. Just a quick one, shout out to superstar channel member Davey, who was working on this today. Now this is one of those all-time classic things on the drums. Let's take it right down to flipping brass tacks. This is what this channel is all about. Davey's been playing for a couple of weeks or so, but I think this goes to whether you've been playing for 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. I've been playing the drums for about 30 years. And this is just grooves and fills 101. Everybody wants to play Rosanna. Everybody wants to play Fool in the Rain. Everybody wants to play 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Everybody wants to play Everlong. Everybody wants to play Basket Case. You know all the ones. And that's great. That's amazing. All these amazing classics we draw on as we go through our drumming journey. But let's face it, when you go and you play your drums, right, in a band, you're making music. What's the most important thing? You can play, if you're in the world of rock and pop, contemporary music, you can play a groove that sits and flows and feels good and is in time. And you can play drum fills that punctuate and move one section into the next. That is like first base. But worry about that first, man. I can't stress that enough. And over and over again, I've found anyway, my career gigging on the drums, that's what gets me gigs. Certainly in terms of your actual drumming, there's lots of other things, being on time, being cool, getting on with people, having transport, all those sort of basic things as well, which can't be overlooked actually, and it turns out are massive in their own right. But in terms of drumming, this is it. Get your groove to sit. Right, it's amazing to me how many people come along when they want to learn those beats, or they want to learn this crazy thing or that crazy thing, or they think the problem is some minutiae thing with their technique. This is where it's at, all right? This is the stuff. Like, this is what 101. You need a groove that's going to sit, right? You need 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I would say when drummers start out, you sort of learn that, and that's the thing that normally I would say people get down most quickly. And then what do? They say, oh, when I get to a drum fill, I can't think of anything to play. Freeze up. I never know what to play. I'm not creative. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. So this is all about going back to basics. I've said it 100 times on this channel. I'm going to say it again. This is all about just getting a basic groove going. Stick your metronome on. You can do this with the drumless track as well if you know it's in time, but I'm doing it with the click here. Play 3 bars of drum groove, or play 7 and then the 8th one as a drum fill. But in this case, we're going to keep it real simple. 3 bars of straightforward drum groove, and then we're going to play a 1-bar drum fill made of 16th notes. 16th notes are 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. We're going to play them as a single stroke roll. That means one stick then the other. We've probably all come across that classic drum fill. Well, basically that's what we're going to do. In this exercise, what I'd recommend doing, if you possibly can, is do it like in the Trinity Grade 1 rudiments, right, where they get you going. So if we call our feet here 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and in other words, we're playing a 4 on the floor. With our sticks, we're going to play 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Put the notation for that on screen now. If the foot thing throws you off at first, don't even worry about that at first. All you need in the first case is just to have this in time, and this is so unbelievably and wildly overlooked, right? So just get this down, whatever you do, because this is going to get you gigs, and this is going to get you to a position where people want to actually make music with you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play it real slow at first, 3 bars groove. When we hit that drum fill, we're going to play 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Don't not do this with something that's in time. So do it with a click or do it with music. This is the point. You need it to be in time, because I was, of course, as guilty of this as anybody. What do new drummers do? They go 3, 4, and it's all good, and it's sounding great. And then what they do? No, you're fired, right? So that moment, when the groove goes into the fill, back to the groove again, that is so key, and that's why you need a reference point. Why is a metronome so good, or a drumless track with a click to it? It's because you've got a reference point. You know what in time is. You hear if you've got it right. You hear if you haven't. If you haven't, that doesn't mean you're bad or you're not good at this. That is just feedback. What the sensible musician learner does at that point is they say, okay, cool. I take that feedback and for what it is, which is a sign that wasn't quite right. Was I too fast? Was I too slow? And you go again. You don't react emotionally to it. You don't lose your mind thinking, I knew I wasn't cut out for this. You don't think that because you can't do it in that moment, you won't ever be able to do it. That's just feedback. That's how learning works. So that's cool. It's That's how it's supposed to work. Right, we're going to put the click on here. We'll slow it down a bit. Okay, here we are at 80 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 bars groove. 1, 3, 4. That's 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 bars. And here comes the drum fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Drum fill. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now this time, we're going to start to just move around the drum kit a little bit, be a bit creative in how we orchestrate the fill. But the sticking and the rhythm will stay the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where you can just sit. If you do 10 minutes a day of this, right? Your timing will improve like you would not believe. Because nobody does this. Everyone's so obsessed with, when am I going to be able to play Everlong? They forget. This is it, and this is where you build your craft. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here comes the drum fill. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your right cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here comes the drum fill. And you sit on that, like I say, 10 minutes a day on that. Change the speed up, sometimes slow, sometimes moderate, sometimes fast. Your timing will improve. You'll have that thing that drummers need more than anything else. It's the single most important thing. A groove that grooves is in time. You can punctuate with a drum fill. Just that simple drum fill in the first case is fine. Later, you can change up the fill. You can start it on beat 1 like we're doing here, or beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. I've got other videos about that. I'll link to those below. But the point is, have a reference so your metronome or your music to keep you in time. Shout out to Davey. Do that before you do anything else. Don't worry about anything else until you've got that down. That is what playing the drums is about in its most purest form, if you ask me. Thanks a million for watching as always. Happy New Year. See you soon.